These baby lions, who usually live in the wild, were found in people's homes. But what happened next made everyone feel really happy. Recently, something surprising has been happening with wildcats in Ukraine and nearby countries. It's hard to believe, but there have been reports that almost 200 lions have been living in people's homes in Ukraine. This is really unusual. These lions were facing a lot of stress because of the conflict in Ukraine, on top of the usual concerns about trading big cats. To deal with this situation, the authorities used the opportunity to enforce international rules about trading wild animals. During the war, people were worried about their pets, but lions are not like regular pets that you can easily take on a train because they have special needs. In response, many rescue groups went on missions to help lots of animals in these troubled countries. One group, the International Fund for Animal Welfare (IFA), worked really hard to make sure many animals were safe. They showed how people were working together to protect these animals during the difficult times. They sent messages telling people they were ready to take care of the animals and even offered to help pay for their safe relocation. Because of this, many owners decided to give up their animals, and some of these animals were not being taken care of properly. But IFA quickly organized their move to places where they could get the care they needed. This gave these animals a second chance, a little bit of hope during tough times. Many of the animals given up were young, including those from people's homes that couldn't take care of them anymore. This situation raised doubts about the appropriateness of wild animals as household companions. Nevertheless, this challenging reality prompted a shift in perspectives as owners recognized the paramount importance of prioritizing the well-being of these creatures. In the wake of these efforts, several cubs were entrusted to rescuers' care, notably Dr. Andrew Kushner, a veterinarian affiliated with IFA, assumed responsibility for 3 lion cubs. His multifaceted role also encompassed aiding refugees and their animal companions in finding suitable residences and establishing stability. Caring for these baby cubs was really tough, especially because their safety was so important. Andrew worked closely with the IFA to make sure the cubs were safe and well taken care of. He knew a lot about what lion cubs needed and had special milk to help them grow. Even in Ukraine, he made sure they got their milk every 3 hours, making sure they had enough to eat. He also kept their living area clean and dry to keep them safe. There's a touching story about Andrew's dedication. Once the power went out, and he had 3 hungry lion cubs with cold milk. He came up with a clever idea and used his body heat to warm the milk bottles, holding them under his arms and legs until they were warm enough for the cubs to drink. The assistance of IFA facilitated the cubs' journey to Kyiv, representing a significant step in their trajectory. However, destiny had a new twist in store. 2 more cubs needed a caregiver, adding an unexpected layer of responsibility. One of these cubs shared a striking similarity in age to the existing trio of lion cubs, while the other was an endearing addition, a miniature black leopard cub. This unforeseen development continued Andrew's steadfast commitment to these remarkable animals. Amidst their diverse backgrounds and circumstances, these cubs rallied around Andrew's steadfast commitment to care for them. Undeterred by the challenges, he willingly embraced this responsibility, recognized the imperative of their well-being. All 5 cubs were youthful, aged less than 4 months, and each had a unique history. Some had known the confines of homes, while others were relinquished from breeding facilities with intentions of being sold as pets. Andrew steadfastly refused to forsake these cubs. Transcending geographical boundaries, he embarked on a journey with them to the Poznań Zoo in Poland, extending his presence there and offering the cubs a buffer of familiarity amidst the unfamiliar surroundings. This respite allowed them to gradually adjust to their new habitat, preserving stability amidst the turbulence they had previously endured. The cubs had gone through a lot of tough changes, and Andrew and the IFA felt really sorry for them. They wanted to make sure these baby lions had the best possible place to live. Andrew stayed with them to show how much they cared, and at the same time, they started looking for permanent and loving homes for the cubs. The goal was to find places that matched the cubs' needs. Since they were born in breeding facilities, it was hard to release them into the wild because they didn't have the skills to survive there. It could also be risky for the wild lion population, as they might bring in diseases. So, Their journey was all about finding a stable and safe place for them and being responsible caretakers. Andrew's and IFA's shared mission transcended individual interests, resonating with the imperative of safeguarding not only the cubs' futures, but also the broader well-being of the wild lion population. Through their collective efforts, these remarkable beings found themselves on a path toward enduring security and preservation, illustrating the profound impact of human compassion and conscious decision-making. Caring for the cubs in a sanctuary offered benefits but came with challenges. Europe's animal organizations faced strain due to the high demand for safe homes. While the little black lion cub found temporary shelter in Poland, the goal was to keep the lion tribe together. The pride had formed strong bonds, including Prada, who wasn't a sibling. Prada was particularly nurturing, grooming the others. The adopted family's close bond was evident as they often cuddled together. Each cub had a unique personality. Tara's, the only male cub, was laid back and brave, observing others at play. Leisha, the smallest, ensured she received attention and care just like her siblings. She was the constant complainer, voicing dissatisfaction whenever things deviated from her plan. On the other hand, Stefania emerged as the most nurturing among the cubs. When they were first brought together, she looked after Prada, who occasionally became shy. The baby lions became really close, and the International Fund for Animal Welfare, IFA, wanted to make sure they stayed together. Taking care of these lions for their whole lives was a big job, but they knew it was important. They searched a lot and found a good place for them, the Wildcat Sanctuary in Sandstone, Minnesota. This sanctuary didn't make money and was really good at taking care of big cats. They had worked with the IFA before, so it was a perfect fit. It was time to get the baby lions ready for their trip. A man named Andrew, who had been looking after them, made sure they weren't alone on their journey, just like when they left Ukraine. He stayed with them until they got to their new forever homes. They had special wooden crates to keep them safe and comfy during the long flight from Poland to the United States. When they arrived, they were put into warm vehicles for a road trip to their new home. When they arrived, the baby lions had to get used to their new place, but they were lucky because it was warm and had lots of toys, even though it was snowy outside in Minnesota. They stayed there for a few days to get used to everything, and their caretaker made sure they were comfortable before going back to Poland. These little lions had been through a lot, so all the changes probably seemed a bit scary. They had to go through some tests to make sure they were healthy and feeling good before they could go outside. The caretaker stayed close to keep them safe in the cold and unfamiliar place. But what happened next is really heartwarming. The baby lions loved the snowy place and played in the snow like they were experts. They explored caves in their new home and even went up to a big tiger to say hello through the fence. After all the tough times they went through, they finally got to relax and have fun like regular lion cubs. They enjoyed their time outside and would get taken care of for the rest of their lives in their new home. What you think of this incredible story? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you.